Hi, I'm Dan Moulthrop with the City Club of Cleveland. Thank you so much for your support of the City Club and your engagement with our work. And thank you for your interest as well in what we're doing. I want to take the next few minutes to talk to you a little bit about the endowment-led campaign that we're in the quiet phase of right now. It's our most ambitious campaign ever, and for it to be successful, it's going to require the generosity of champions like you. This last year was really one of the most difficult in our nation's recent history, and certainly in the City Club's history. From natural disasters and a global health crisis to the rising voices of racial injustice and the serious attacks on democracy itself. Yet in the midst of all of that disruption, the City Club's mission stood strong. The work that we do, and that we have always done, has been about providing people a way to participate in democracy. I mean, there's no other place in our community, or in the state of Ohio, frankly, that does what we do, providing a place where, for the price of lunch, or even now for free online, anybody can join a conversation with the governor of the state of Ohio, or a mayoral candidate, or advocates and experts about whatever issue. And they can be a part of the conversation and truly help to shape the dialogue. Our community is more resilient and more collaborative because of it. It's become all the more clear this last year that our community has grown to rely on us. In these times of stress and distress, there's something unique about what the City Club offers. It's a combination of optimism and opportunity to engage in dialogue, to find common ground, to take action, and to do it all in a way that is fundamentally civil. We named this campaign the Guardians of Free Speech because freedom of speech is fundamentally what we are about. Our pursuit of free speech is about believing in progress. It's a commitment to bold ideas. It's about new and unheard voices, and to doing the work to find the necessary conversations that are happening in our community and then amplifying those conversations. It's about believing in the best of our community. This is the free speech we believe in. And at the City Club, we all have the opportunity to be guardians of free speech. We have been here for the community since our founding. Whether it's 1918, when the seed that would become the Urban League of Greater Cleveland was first planted in the public's consciousness, or 1968, when Bobby Kennedy spoke of the mindless menace of violence, or 1988, when Ronald Reagan became the first sitting U.S. president to speak at the City Club, or 2020 and 2021, when more than 16,000 people tuned in for our online forums. That number is every bit as high as the in-person number would have been. And new projects like Democracy Unchained had us reaching more than 500,000 viewers. It's truly extraordinary what the City Club has been able to accomplish over this last year, thanks to the many foundations, corporations, and individuals like you who have supported us. We are community supported in the truest sense of those words, and our team is deeply grateful. So what will the Guardians of Free Speech campaign accomplish? Together, we will bring civic dialogue to more people. We will lift up new voices. We will amplify necessary conversations. We will protect free speech. We will inspire bold thinking, and we will build a new home for civic dialogue. There are 4 key pillars to the campaign. First, when we talk about securing the future, we're talking about designing new programs that help meet the needs of our community as those needs change. Growing our endowment so that in our most challenging times we can continue to be responsive and focused on what our community needs most. And we will continue to be a place where a community of civically engaged citizens is cultivated for generations to come. Second, this campaign will help us continue to build on our commitment to prioritizing diversity and access for our entire community. It's deeply important to us to continue to work with our community partners to ensure that the City Club's programming reflects racial and economic inclusion, that we participate in what Eric Liu, a recent City Club speaker, refers to as this radical project of creating Earth's first mass, multiracial, multi-ethnic democracy. The third pillar has been most strongly reinforced by our COVID experience. Before COVID, we were hitting a sellout crowd on a very regular basis, and we're beginning to explore ways to expand our audience and our space. We've learned a lot this past year, and we're excited to continue learning and innovating how we are delivering programming to make sure that the City Club of the future is designed to convene our community both physically, in person, and online. The fourth pillar focuses on our aspiration to be part of the national dialogue. We've already begun work on establishing a national advisory board. And while our partnership with IdeaStream is the most important partnership we have, to be sure, we'd like to seek national media partnerships to help bring our forums to growing audiences who are searching for civil-civic dialogue anywhere. We are a model for the nation. This is our vision, to be a city club for all ages, all races, all genders and creeds for generations to come. And we invite you to be a part of this transformational campaign. 80 years ago was when this work began. Coming out of the Great Depression, there was a realization that the City Club needed to ensure that the forum would always be here for future generations. And that's when the first contributions were made to establish an endowment. The very first significant contribution to that effort came from then Congresswoman Frances Payne Bolton. I was talking with Charlie Bolton recently about how that contribution got us going and was critically important to raising that first $100,000. I don't think that those founding donors could really have imagined what we would be facing 80 years later. But when I look back at what felt like an existential moment as the pandemic hit our city, I realized that it wasn't truly existential because we had that endowment to fall back on. It was there to prepare us and shore us up for exactly this kind of moment. And whether they knew it or not, Congresswoman Payne Bolton, Carl Friebelin, Mort Epstein, Hope and Stanley Adelstein, and so many others who made contributions through the decades, they were standing by our side this past year. Now it's our turn to envision what kind of a democracy we want to see in America 80 years from now. If we want to see a strong democracy in the year 2100, then that requires us to invest today. We've set a course to raise $10 million in this campaign, and we are on our way to doing that, to reaching our goal, because others like you have already gotten involved. We will grow the endowment so that the City Club and Civil Civic Dialogue will be here, whatever the future may hold. And we will build a home that will contribute to the enduring legacy of Civil Civic Dialogue, which is so important and so rare, and reclaim the idea of free speech as a fundamentally important part of civil civic dialogue that expands access and respects all voices. So this is where we're at. We are in the middle of our quiet phase, a time during which we continue to seek leadership contributions that will be the foundation of the success of the Guardians of Free Speech campaign. Our gift table reflects the significant role those early contributions play in helping to inspire others to give at a variety of levels, so that together as a community, we can ensure this institution continues to play a role in strengthening our community and our nation. You can see here all the incredible folks who have joined the campaign leadership. We are grateful for their personal commitment. Emerging champions and legacy leaders side by side, reflecting the breadth of our work, where we've been and where we're headed. They remind us that here at the City Club, we stand on the shoulders of so many great guardians of free speech as we pursue our mission. And I fundamentally believe that our community is stronger for it. I hope you'll join us. From all of us here at the City Club, staff, board, our campaign committee, and members, perhaps even like you, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to talking with you soon.